Hey, hi everybody, I'm back. I was so busy going to the beach during all the summertime because here in Montreal, summer is something very short, so I try to enjoy my summer holidays the best I could do. So today, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose my top 10 favorite rock bands from the UK, top 10 favorite. And but there are nine official UK bands, and there's one Irish band. But I don't want to give you too many clues. I don't want to give you too many clues right from the beginning. And I think those 10 favorite UK bands are probably my top 10 favorite UK artists at the same time. You know. Now, first of all, here are a few honorable mentions. The Animals, with Eric Burden, especially I'm talking especially about the original lineup, you know, uh, T-Rex, Radiohead. I really like their first four, let's say their first five albums. I don't enjoy the rest as much as their first five albums, but I really like their musical style. I respect. I've got a lot of respect for that band, but they're not in my top 10 list. David Bowie. I love the early Bowie more than the later Bowie, but once again, I've got a lot of respect for David Bowie. The Jesus and the Mary Chain. Uh, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Okay, this was a threesome. One guy, Jimi Hendrix, was an American, and the two other guys were British. And I think the band was formed in the UK. I'm not totally sure, but I think so. Uh, but Jimi Hendrix was the main attraction. So for me, this is more like an American band than a UK band, but uh, you can include the Jimi Hendrix experience in your list if you wish, no problem. So that was that for the honorable mentions. And by the way, there are some very popular bands, like Queen. I'm pretty sure most of you would include Queen in your top 10, but that's not the case for me. But I've got a lot of respect for Queen as musicians, the great musicians. But this is a top 10, so here we go. Now, number 10, this was very hard to rank these bands in the right order. So, number 10, number 9, number 8, and number 7 could be placed in any order. But I think at the moment, I think I would go for Lush, which is an alternative rock band, a shoegaze band. This is their famous logo, and that's the band in question. Two girls, two boys, and they were not the best musicians or best singers I ever heard, but they had a very interesting sound. They use a lot. They use many effects on their guitars, effects like delay, phaser, flanger. So it sounded like something very spatial. And I think they did pretty good melodies. And I think they also did pretty good vocal harmonies, even as I said, if they were not the best singers. Uh, that band means something very special for me, and they are number 10 on my list, Lush. Okay, let's continue at number 9. One of the first heavy rock band, one of the first heavy metal band, Black Sabbath. They were also one of the darkest band, and this is one of my favorite Black Sabbath album. And of course, the best period and I guess that's the same for you. The best period was the original lineup with Ozzy Osbourne. So Black Sabbath at number 9. Number 8, you know those guys? U2, yeah. And this is the Irish band I was talking, just at the beginning of this video. Uh, so of course U2 is officially an Irish band, but you know that was a foursome, and two guys from the band were British and they're still British, while the two other guys are Irish. And the band was formed in Ireland, but I put the band in my list. And I always loved Bono's voice and The Edge's guitar, and they did a couple of real classic albums, just like that one, the Joshua Tree, but they did other classic albums, like The Unforgettable Fire, War, Actung Baby. And they are number 8 on my list. Number 7, I went for the Kinks. And when I think about the Kinks, one of the most remarkable thing, I'm thinking about, their songs from 1964. You Really Got Me, All Day and All of the Night, and those kind of riffs, that was for You Really Got Me, or All Day and All of the Night, their sound was pretty raw. And I think it was something heavy for 1964, and Ray Davies was a genius. He wrote great lyrics, and they are number 7 on my list, the Kinks. Okay, number 6. Now, number 6 and number 5 could be switched. I love those bands almost at the same level, and I'm talking about the Yardbirds. Legendary band with 3 legendary guitarists, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page. And for a while, Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page played together, in the same time. They were both musicians, were playing at the same time, for a couple of weeks, or maybe 1 month or 2 months. I don't know. And the Yardbirds were precursors of psychedelic music, heavy metal music, a legendary band. So the Yardbirds at number 6. Number 5, you know those guys? 4 of the best musicians ever: Jimmy Page, John Bonham, John Paul Jones, and Robert Plant. What a great singer. And I'm talking, of course, about Led Zeppelin, one of the first, just like Black Sabbath, one of the first heavy rock, one of the first heavy metal band, and this is one of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums. So Led Zeppelin at number 5. Number 4, I went for the bad boys of rock and roll, the Rolling Stones. And the Brian Jones period was my favorite period, and musically, my favorite period goes from 1965 with songs like Satisfaction, The Last Time, to 1967 with albums like their Satanic Majesty's Request, or Between the Buttons. Or I could say my favorite period goes probably from 1965 to 1968, yeah, with that famous single, Jumping Jack Flash, and they are number 4 on my list, the Rolling Stones. Number 3, the richest vandals of the world, the Who. And just like everybody, of course, I really like or love Tommy, Who's Next, Quadrophenia, but I enjoyed the 60s period, with their first album, My Generation and Sell Out. I enjoyed that period as much as I enjoyed their 70s period. And Pete Townsend was a genius as a songwriter. Keith Moon is my favorite drummer. And they are number 3 on my list. And I used to love the Rolling Stones a bit better than the Who, but now I love the Who better than the Rolling Stones, and they are number 3 on my list. Number 2, uh, probably in my opinion, this was the most original sound since the Beatles, and I'm talking about Pink Floyd, and this is the classic lineup, with David Gilmour, and this is a picture, this is a photograph from one of my very favorite Floyd album, Metal, but I also uh, love, the early period with Sid Barrett in the lineup, one of the best debut album of all times. And they are number 2 on my list. And finally, at number 1, you probably heard about those guys once in your life. They're called the Beatles. You know that, Ben? Of course, the Beatles, what can I say about the Beatles? They changed everything. They opened the doors for all the other UK bands, the best songwriters, in my opinion. Their sound was always changing from album to album. If you listen to Please Please Me, and right after that you listen to Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, this is something totally different. And if you listen to Sergeant Pepper and then you listen to Abbey Road, once again, this is something totally different. The best rock band in the world, in my opinion, the Beatles. And this is my number 1 choice. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I'd like to know what is your favorite top 10, what is your top 10 favorite rock bands from the UK. So thanks for watching and see you for my next video.